What's going on, everybody? This is Schism of Weed, and I figured, as you can tell by the title, I figured I'd show you guys my game collection of 2020 as of June 2020. Now, with the PlayStation event that happened a few days ago, I figured it'd be proper for me to show you my game collection, right? Right, let's get into it. Let me move this camera down like so. Alright, so I'm going to start off with my original PlayStation games, and then moving on to PlayStation 2, then my original Xbox, then Xbox 360, then Xbox One, blah blah blah. You get it, you get it. Alright. Let's start it out with Ape Escape. Years ago when I was younger, I played this game on a demo disc, and I was like, yo, I gotta get this shit because it was awesome, and I've played it several times. You know, so there's that one. Ape Escape, come out in 1999. Yeah, buddy. Shows my age right there. Most definitely. I bought this at a game store, which I probably shouldn't even have bought it. Well, I guess back in the day you could get it for $4.99 or some shit like that. Right there, it says right there. Anyway, this is like a demo disc. PlayStation Underground, the winter of 2000. It has mostly just demo games on it. I don't know if you can see that right there, but there's all the demo games. All the games come with it. My camera's not very good, so you're just gonna have to deal with it. There's the back of the game case right there. Alright, there's that one. Moving on to the next one, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater for the PlayStation. Now, I played this back in the day on the Nintendo 64, but I prefer to play it on the PlayStation because everybody says PlayStation version is better, and I agree, the PlayStation version is better, except for some graphical laggage. Anyway, there's that right there, Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Yep, I'm a real skater in real life. I don't have any skate footage on my YouTube channel because I don't really record like that. But at some point, I think I'm gonna try to record some skate videos for y'all. Anyway, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. Now, if you played the first one, you've definitely played the second one. Back case right there. Yeah, buddy. This is when they very first added the ability to customize, like, make your own parks and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. Right there, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. Moving on. Next one, Driver. Now, I did play this when I was younger back in the day a lot with some of my siblings and shit like that, and so I loved it to this day, and there it is right there, Driver. Now, the story to this is kind of cool. I think they tried to do a lot like with GTA and stuff, like try to copy GTA and shit like that, but they wanted to make theirs a 3D style kind of game. Anyway, this is made by Reflections right down there. If you can see that, my camera will pick it up, probably not. Either way, it's made right by Reflections right there. And there's that. Next one, You Are the Wheelman is back, Driver 2. This is the Platinum Hits edition. I don't like the Platinum Hits on anything, but I tried to get the original game as it came out back in the day. But either way, I don't think it really matters on this particular game because I don't know if there's anything that was added or taken away. Sometimes when they come out with Platinum Hits version of certain games, they take some things away, they add certain new stuff in, very small, minor stuff. I don't think that was the case for this, but you never know. I don't really have a whole lot of wide knowledge on the whole Driver series, but either way, there's this one right here. The story in the first game does not take place after this. This is a completely different story, so if you were to look forward to playing this, just make sure you keep that in mind. Made by the same company, Reflections. I know my camera's not going to pick it up again. Either way, there's that. Next one, moving on. Resident Evil Director's Cut. Now, this one right here, I have searched high and low for this particular game right here. This is the Resident Evil Director's Cut that is included with the Resident Evil 2 demo disc. My camera won't pick that up very well, but anyway, there's that. Let me open this up real quick. Oh shit, I got some passwords or some shit written down in here. I don't know what the fuck that's all about. Anyway, there it is. There's the disc, Director's Cut. Now this here is the... Oh shit, is it scratched up right there? No, it's probably like cat hair or some shit. And this version right here is the the good version. They come out with another version where they've messed up the sound. Oh, here's the demo disc for Resident Evil 2. There's that. There's the back of the case. Now they come out with another version of this where they've messed up the soundtrack. They had a different composer doing the soundtrack in one of these, and this isn't that one. This is the original that has the original soundtrack, all that. This is the good one, basically what I'm trying to say. Next one, Resident Evil 2 for the PlayStation. Now, oh god, voice crack. All right, so hold on. Let me get some water real quick, cause I am doing a bit of a talking. Oh shit, I'm about to knock something over. Hold up, 1 second here. Let me get some aquas. Alright, that's better. Resident Evil 2 for the PlayStation. Now they have a few different versions of this. This particular one right here is the one that only has the hunk scenario. Now, once you beat the game, you have these little side missions. If they're not really side missions, I can't really think of the name. I guess I'm just gonna call them side missions. They're basically little side stories that you can do. There's the hunk scenario, the tofu scenario, and if you get the right version, the DualShock version, I think of this, you get a mercenaries side mode type thing. And this one doesn't have it. This one has just the hunk scenario. You have to beat the game like 6 times or something like that. I don't really have the patience for that. I've only beat it 4 times. That's Claire 1 and Claire B 1, whatever the fuck. I beat it 4 times. Anyway, there's that. Resident Evil 2. That's not the DualShock version. That's the other version. Okay, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. I don't really have a whole lot to say about this. But there's this, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. This game is really good. I don't like the remake that they did for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. I think that remake is trash. Same thing with the remake of Resident Evil 2. I don't like them. I understand it's a new take, a new perspective on the Resident Evil series. But the way I see it, if you're not going to keep the core, the way that this game was built upon, if you're not going to keep that intact, then you've basically ruined the series. That's just for me anyway. I know a lot of people have different mixed thoughts and different opinions on that, but that's just the way I feel about it. Okay, moving on, next one. Blood Omen Legacy of Kain. Now, I played the first, actually played this one first, which I'm going to get into that in a minute. But this is the first game out of a 5-part series that is amazing. Now this is way better. This is about vampires and humans and shit like that. But the vampires, it's a whole nother ball game with this the whole vampires and humans and shit with this one. It's a really good story. And yeah, but I don't really like this particular game. Now the gameplay on this actually sucks. It's terrible. Even the PC version, I never played the PC version, only this one, and the gameplay is terrible. But I love the story, the voice acting in this, and like if this game was just cutscenes only, I would buy it full price just because of the story that comes along with it. Alright, moving on. Next one, Soul Reaver Legacy of Kain. Now this takes place 500 years after this one. So I'm not going to get into the whole story, part of the story, because I want to be here forever explaining the story, but I played this one first before I played, as a matter of fact, I played the whole series first before I even got to this. I played this for the very first time ever in 2016, and this came out in 1996, so let you know how old this is. That's why the gameplay on this is kind of bad, because it came out in 96. This came out in 99. And this is a 3D platformer style game, and that's more my style. I like the whole 3D universe. That's the type of games that I grew up playing. So that's why I like playing them type of games. So yeah, there's Soul Reaver there. And it's hard to explain the story. I might do a gameplay, but I'm only gonna start with this one and move on from there. So there's that. Alright, next one from my original PlayStation, Gex, Enter the Gecko. I remember playing this when I was real young, about 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. And I fell in love with it. And usually when you play games when you're younger and then you don't have them, or you end up losing them, or whatever the case may be, you remember them at some point when you get older, and you want to replay them because you remember how fun you had when you played them. So yeah, there's this Gex 2. This is another like 3D platformer style game. More for kids though, but it is fun for adults as well. That's why I still have this shit. Gex 3, Deep Cover Gecko. Now this particular one it says right here, includes a demo, and you can't really see that. A demo of Soul Reaver and Warzone 2100. Which the Warzone 2100 demo is actually in this, but the demo for Soul Reaver is a bit of a lie because it's just a video that they play. It's not actually a demo that you can interact with and play. So that's kind of a bummer, but whatever. We have Soul Reaver, so we don't need to play that stupid demo. I wish they would have included the demo in this at the time, but you know how they do. Anyway, this was made by Crystal Dynamics, same people who made Soul Reaver. So yeah, this is just kind of continues the story of Gex 2, but then again, not really. It's kind of its own separate story. Either way, there's that. Let's move on. Let me get a drink of water. Now I apologize if this is kind of boring for you, but there ain't really a whole lot going on right now. Let me move these pieces of paper over here. I'm going to remember that goes in the Resident Evil case. There isn't a whole lot going on right now, so I figured I'd do something like this because in July, Xbox is going to be having an event, and I'm pretty excited about the event that Sony had a while back. But enough of that. Let's get into back to the video. Sledstorm. This is another game that I played, Electronic Arts, EA, that I played back in the day. And you know, I had to pick that shit up as I was older. I was like, yo, I played this shit back in the day. It was awesome, man. So yeah, it's a snowmobile racing, and you can do tricks and shit like that. It's kind of like Tony Hawk, but with snowmobiles. Next one, Jersey Devil. This is another game that I played back in the day. This is another 3D platformer, but this is more cartoony style kind of game. Now, I don't know. This is kind of based off of that whole mythical creature, the Jersey Devil, that isn't real, but it's supposed to be some kind of devil. In real life, it's supposed to be some kind of devil that kills you or some shit like that. I don't really know about the whole story, but they made a video game on it, and it's kind of cartoony, and it's basically just a platformer. And yeah, it's a pretty good game. It's alright. They didn't make any Jersey Devil 2 or nothing like that, but they, at the end of the game, they kind of make it to where you're like, yeah, we're gonna make a second one, but they never actually went and made a second one. So I don't know what that was about. Either way, moving on. PlayStation 2. So the first game we have for PlayStation 2, Ape Escape 3. Now I have skipped Ape Escape 2 because for some reason Ape Escape 2 is just kind of too girly, kind of too childish, if you will, for me. To me it seems like that game is made for kids that very first started playing video games, like when they're 5, 6 years old. And I understand Ape Escape is made for kids, I understand that, but Ape Escape 2, just a little too much childish, just a little too much on me for me to be playing that. But Ape Escape 3 kind of has that perfect middle where, you know, there's a lot of kid shit in there, and there's a lot of other cool gameplay mechanics, which I like. So there's that right there, and also that is the final game in the series. Next one, Resident Evil 4 Platinum Hits, or Greatest Hits, I guess you could say. Again, like I say, I don't try to get the Platinum Hits or the Greatest Hits, but whenever I go out and get these games, I try to get the regular version, but sometimes you don't find the regular version. Like, it'll be in there one day, and then it won't be in there. So, it's hard telling. And I don't go to GameStop, plus I don't think GameStop sells PlayStation 2 games anymore. I go to my local game store. But anyway, there's that. Resident Evil 4, moving on. Next one. Getting back into the Tony Hawk games now. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. This is basically just another Tony Hawk game. This has nothing to do with the second one, as the first one had nothing to do with the second one. So there you go. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. I think in that one, that's when they very first added the revert or something like that. Here we go, next one, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. Now this is when they changed up, and yes, this is the greatest hits version. I had to get it what I had to get it, you know. It is what it is. Anyway, now this particular one, they've changed up a lot of the gameplay mechanics, and they made it to where you can do goals and stuff like that in a massive world. Well, in a massive map, not a massive world. There's multiple maps in this, but they changed up the formula of the way that you play the game anyway. They did it for good, I think. I think the way that they changed it up was for good, because the older style was pretty fun, but it was getting repetitive after number 3. Okay, Tony Hawk's Underground. Now this is when they very first added the story modes to Tony Hawk's Pro Skater games, and this is when you play as a character and you go through the shittiest part of skating, and then you work your way up to the best part of skating, and then also kind of get betrayed in between. I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. Anyway, if you haven't played it, you gotta pick it up if you're into skating. So there's that. Tony Hawk Underground. Next one, Tony Hawk Underground 2, and this is when they tried to make it really cool, like MTV style, like, you know, Viva La Bam and you know, CKY style kind of shit. And I don't know, a lot of people didn't like that, and the Jackass was hitting really good at the time, and they tried to make the game kind of like that. So yeah, but this is one of my favorite games, one of my favorite Tony Hawk games. I played the shit out of this back in the day. And this one, not so much. Tony Hawk American Wasteland Special Edition, which doesn't mean a fucking thing, because there's nothing special added to this. At least as far as I know, there's nothing special added to it. I don't know, maybe there is. Either way, there's this. Now this is the one where you play in a massive map, in basically in LA. And they quote it there. They say that there's no loading screens, but there is somewhat loading screens in this game. It doesn't matter. Either way, this game was awesome. Not as cool as number 2 though. So, not as cool as number 2. Soul Reaver 2. Now, I had stopped playing Soul Reaver at the time when I picked this up. I remember a long time ago, back, I'd say 2006, maybe 2005, maybe. No, it's probably 2006, most likely. I used to live in Springfield, Missouri, and there was a video game store called Vintage Stock that was like in walking distance from my house. And every time I'd get some money here and there, I'd go there, and then I realized how much fun I had playing the first one, and then I seen this, and I was like, yo, I didn't know they made this. I didn't know this was even a thing. And I wanted to get back into this, and at the time, the way I was thinking, you know, I want to play a game that's kind of like the World of Warcraft game, but I want it to be like on PlayStation. And yeah, I started playing this, and I was thinking to myself, this is kind of like World of Warcraft, sort of in a way, but more of like a low budget World of Warcraft game. But it's nothing like World of Warcraft at all. Story in this is really good. If you don't understand what's going on, if you don't know, then you won't know, if you know what I'm saying. If you don't know, then you won't know, you know what I'm saying? Shoot. Alright, next one, Legacy of Kain Blood Omen 2. Now this takes place after the ending of Blood Omen 1, but also takes place before Soul Reaver 1. So it's kind of in between that 500-year gap between the ending of Blood Omen 1 and the beginning of Soul Reaver 1. But this is more of a side story, but it's kind of crucial to the story itself. It's kind of hard to explain. The way that this series plays out, it plays out through time travel, and certain elements that happen through time didn't happen in between the two games. It's hard to explain. It really is hard to explain. But anyway, this is a very crucial game if you're getting into the Legacy of Kain series. The gameplay itself, not so great. And the story and the voice acting, again, not so great in this particular one. But here it is, Blood Omen 2. in order to I mean, you don't need to play that to understand the story, but it is good to have that knowledge that this game provides as you're playing through the story. Either way, next game we're gonna get into GTA Vice City Stories. Now, I played this recently back in 2018. I didn't play it back in the day. I tried it back in the day and I didn't like it. Okay, so I don't know what happened, but my camera just died and I didn't have the micron on, so I got that turned back on. Hopefully it'll be a little better now. It'll be a little better quality for y'all to see. Anyway, like I was saying, Grand Theft Auto, Vice City Stories, and then like I said, I didn't really play. I tried it back in the day, but I didn't like it back in the day because I liked the original Vice City and GTA games. So there's that one. Next one, Grand Theft Auto, Liberty City Stories. I don't really have a whole lot to say about this. Again, this is another one of them GTAs that I played more recent than I did back when it first came out. But yeah, there's this one. Like I say, I don't have a whole lot to say about this, but there's that. They added a lot of cool shit. Basically, this is all the Vice City elements, all the Vice City. God, how can I explain it? All the gameplay mechanics in Vice City were basically added and fine-tuned in this one. There we go. Finally got it out. Alright, moving on to the next ones. Let's move over to the Xbox original. Throw these underneath here. There we go. Now we're getting all my Xbox original games. Let me look. I got a few over there, but we're gonna get into that when we get into that. So, Need for Speed Carbon. Now, I went over to my cousin's house one time and he was playing this shit, and I was like, and I was kind of like, it's kind of weird when you, I don't know, it's like I get into a lot of games that my family got into. It's like whenever he was playing this, like, yeah, I want to play that shit too, that looks badass. And at the time I was kind of into cars and shit like that, playing what the fuck was it, like Midnight Club or something like that. Either way, those games were shit compared to this. This was way better. Like the drifting in this was so much better, and the risk factor, like you see as you can see on the cover of the case, you could be racing in canyons and shit. This game is awesome. So there's that one right there. Alright, moving on. Next one, Roller Coaster Tycoon. Now remember when I said that I had a game store where I used to live at, it was in walking distance. They had this game there that one time, and I picked it up and I was like, damn, I remember playing this on the computer back in the day, and the fact that they have this on the original Xbox basically tells me that the original Xbox is way more powerful than the PS2. At the time, I had a PS2 and original Xbox, so this is when I seen this, and when I seen that you could play this game on the Xbox and the PC, I automatically knew that the Xbox original was more powerful than the PlayStation 2, simply because you couldn't play PC games on the PlayStation 2 like that. Xbox you can, because it was a Microsoft company. Anyway, oh, that's my phone going off over there. Anyway, that I come to find out that's not really the case. They released this in the year of 2000. There's enough talking about the Roller Coaster Tycoon. Let's move on to GTA. GTA Vice City Xbox Collection. And again, a lot of these games I played on a PS2 back in the day, and I figured I have an Xbox which is more powerful than PS2, and let's play it on the good shit, you know, let's play it on the more powerful console. So I did, and I got it. So there's that. And there's GTA 3. Wait a minute. And then GTA San Andreas, the Platinum hits. I wish I didn't have the Platinum hits, but it is what it is. Okay, so Legacy of Kain Defiance. Now this is the final game in the series of Legacy of Kain, and it is very good. If you've played all the way up to this point, then you're pretty excited about this game. I remember, I didn't even know this existed. I picked this up in a pawn shop one time. Not this particular game, but when I very first played it, I found this in a pawn shop, and I seen these two on the cover, and I said, I was like, Legacy of Kain Defiance. I've never heard of this. I don't know if this is a side story or what it was, but no, this was one of the main games in the main storyline, and I can't believe I seen it at a fucking pawn shop. But then again, it was many years later. This game came out in 2003. I started playing Soul Reaver 2 in like 2006, so that kind of gives you an idea of how long this game was already out by the time I figured out this was even a game. So yeah, there's that. Next one, Xbox 360. Now I do believe that's all of my original Xbox games except for 2. And if you know me, you probably already know what those 2 are. So, next one, Xbox 360, Grand Theft Auto 4. Another amazing GTA game. This is way better than GTA 5 story. I don't care if the graphics aren't as good. This story is 10 times better than GTA 5. Next one, Grand Theft Auto Episodes of Liberty City. I mean, if you don't really need a whole lot of explanation about this, just the 2 DLCs, you know, the Ballad of Gay Tony and the Lost in the Damned. 2 single-player DLCs for GTA 4. Alright, we got them out of the way. Moving on to the next stack of Xbox 360. I should have put these in a better order than this, but next one, Call of Duty Black Ops 2. I didn't get a chance to play this when it very first came out, but my cousin did, and then after he played it, he sold it to me for 20 bucks, and I still have it to this day. And I don't know if this is the original version, anyway. I still have it to this day, and I like this game a lot. This is where the Black Ops series, for me, basically come to a final close, a final end, even though they made 2 more after this, but we'll get into that bullshit when we get to that monstrosity of a game. Next one, Call of Duty Black Ops. And this is when they started adding in zombies in from after World at War, because all the previous Call of Duties before this didn't have it, like Modern Warfare 1, Modern Warfare 2, and so on and so forth. There's that. The story in this is very good, and this one continues the story from Black Ops 1. Right. Call of Duty World at War. This is a better World War II story than actually Call of Duty World War II. I don't know, did they come out in 2016? I don't know, I can't remember when that one came out, but this one is way better than that one is, simply because they just show you all of the roughness that World War II had back in the day. I mean, it was nuts, it was crazy. Alright, I'm going to try to move on through these because this video is getting a bit lengthy. Next one, Mirror's Edge. This is a free running game where you run around as this character right here. Her name is Faith, and you do all kinds of cool free running, roaming shit, and you know, murder people, and you run and you jump and all this cool shit. Anyway, Mirror's Edge, there's that right there. Next one, Saints Row 2. I wish I would have played this back in the day. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm gonna try to do something here real quick. Let me move this over like so. God damn it. I'm sorry about this. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so you know what I can't stand? The fact that technology I can't hook my fucking camera up to the charger while recording at the same time. Why? Why can't I do that? Anyway, Saints Row 2. I wish I would have played this back in the day. with my friends back in like 2009, 2010, but I didn't. But now I regret it because there's a lot of achievements on there that I ain't gonna be able to get because I don't have anybody to play it with. Skate 3. I played through all the Skate games, and then I also got Skate 3 right here. There isn't a whole lot to say about this except for the fact that we're getting Skate 4 on the next consoles. May not be this year, might be next year. Don't really know about release date, don't really know about what's going on about Skate 4, but I just got a message from my friend the other day. Skate 4 is actually happening, so that's good. Hopefully that's not a troll telling you or telling us about it. Anyway, next one. I'm doing this in off order because I didn't separate these like the others. Okay. BioShock Infinite. This is the last game in the BioShock series, and it has nothing to do with the second one. Has nothing to do, well, it kind of has a lot to do with the first one. There's a lot of elements in this, especially the DLC, and it's kind of bullshit that they add the story into this and then finish off the story with DLC that you have to buy if you want to find out what happens. It's stupid. I don't like that shit. Same thing when they did with Destiny too. Alright, so moving on. Here comes my cat. Yep, go on, move. I'm trying to do a video. Alright, next one is BioShock 2. And like I said, this has nothing to do with the first one, but this is the only one on Xbox that had multiplayer for it. So that's why this is actually my original BioShock 2 game that I bought years ago. At Walmart when it went on price for 30 bucks. BioShock 1, I played the demo on Xbox Live and I got hooked immediately. And then, yeah. Then I had to go buy the game. Halo Reach. Back in 2010, this was the shit. But now not so much. They released this on Master Chief Collection as well. Moving on. Halo 3 ODST. It's like a side story from Halo 3, which they said they was going to add it in as like a DLC for Halo 3, but they decided to make it a whole nother game. At the time, I didn't realize this was 60 bucks when it very first released. I didn't buy it when it very first released. I bought it way after the shit went down in price. But I can't believe they sold this for 60 bucks. Because to me, it's not worth 60. But Halo 3, this is the best fucking game ever made for Xbox, hands down. I don't care what anybody says. This right here is the best. Alright, next one. Halo 2 multiplayer map pack. Don't really have much to say about this. Just multiplayer maps for Halo 2, which is kind of obsolete now because we don't need shit. Halo 1 Combat Evolved. This is the original Xbox game that I was talking about. And here's my Halo 2 as well. I know I can't leave this out, but there's that. Okay. So, moving on to the Xbox One games. Okay. I'm going to try to do this because my battery is on E. It's about to turn off. So a lot of people slept on this game. I had just recently beat this yesterday, and a lot of people didn't like this, but I did. I like it. I thought it was alright. I don't know why people were bitching and complaining. I guess it's because of all the shit that they had it in the game that it wasn't Call of Duty anyway. People thought it wasn't Call of Duty, which it would have been different if they didn't have the Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. If it was just Infinite Warfare, and I don't know. Anyway, Call of Duty Master Chief Collection. This is the very first game that I bought on my Xbox. There's that right there. It has all 4 Halo games plus a bonus 2 Halo Reach and Halo ODST as DLCs if you'd like to buy that. Next one, Red Dead Redemption 2. I wish I had a lot to say about this, but again, my battery is almost done and I have to get through this real quick. Red Dead 2 is graphically one of the best games that I've ever played this whole year, and it's just amazing. I've only played a little bit of it. I need to get back on there and continue the story. But anyway, there's that. Red Dead 2, GTA 5. Yeah, let's get that garbage the fuck out of here. Next one, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. This is pretty cool. I'm pretty burnt on Warzone. I'm pretty burnt on what's left to do. Season 4 come out a couple days ago, or about a week ago, and I only been on there about one time to play. I've just been kind of burnt, you know. I played through the campaign on Veteran, and I didn't beat Spec Ops because it's just too fucking hard. And then, yeah. Next one, Call of Duty Black Ops 4. This is when Black Ops or Treyarch went Battle Royale. They didn't have a campaign in this one, just multiplayer, Battle Royale, and zombies. So yeah, I really like this. I played the shit out of this before Modern Warfare come out. We played, fuck, me and my friend, we played hours and hours and hours of this every day. No, get down, get down. Sorry about that. Next one, Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Now this is the most shittiest campaign Black Ops have ever released. This is a terrible campaign. I remember Advanced Warfare, and I'm going to remember, not Advanced, but Infinite Warfare. I'm going to remember Infinite Warfare more than I'd ever remember this story. Simply because Infinite Warfare story actually has something in there you can remember. There's nothing I remember about this except for one time the character was fucking screaming and blood rained for no goddamn reason because it's a stupid fucking game. But the zombies in this, the zombies is refined perfectly. The zombies, if you're gonna play Call of Duty Black Ops 3, you're gonna play it for the zombies for sure. Next one, Red Dead, the Game of the Year edition. This has the Undead Nightmare and the original Red Dead story on Xbox 360, Xbox One. I had to pick this up because I wanted the first two, or the first game and the DLC before I got the second one. So I got it, but I didn't beat it yet. I mean, I beat the original a long time ago. And the next one is Fallout 76. I probably should have just left this out because I'm not really a fan of this. I got this just because my friend had it, and you can play online with your friends. And I forget how, I mean, I don't want to say how terrible it is, because if you're a Fallout fan and you like this game, then that's good. And I don't want to bash on you because you like Fallout 76. It's just I'm not really a fan of this. I've never played any Fallout game except for this one. I never played the first one, never played the second one, never played the third, never played New Vegas, never played number 3, number 4, whatever. I never played any of them except for this, and I know that's kind of a bad way to do it. But I never was interested in the Fallout series like that. I just never was. And I'm sorry to say that, but I just never was. I was into Halo and Bioshock and other shit. Now here's my Ultimate Game Pass. It doesn't matter. By the time I upload this shit, it's going to be used anyway. I don't even think I haven't used this yet, but I don't know if I will. I don't think I just showed the code. I hope I didn't show the code, but if I did, whatever. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck about Game Pass. Shit sucks. I like my physical games. Anyway, battery is about done with this camera. I think we did it. I think we went through every single video game that I own. So there it is, y'all. If I come up with some new shit, maybe next year, we'll do another one of these. But I'll try to leave out some of the same old games. Anyway, this has been Skizma Weed, and I will see ya in the next one. There's my cat over there choking on fucking cat food. Anyway, later.